Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Making this video for new people. I explain this every day in my live streams. For those of you who don't watch my live streams, you really should. But when I put out notes, I'll always bold what I think is the strongest narrative. So let's go over yesterday's hockey games, basketball games, and college football games, Saturday, October 26th. What's bolded here is if the Blackhawks lose in overtime, what would stand out? And if Carolina wins, what would stand out? Largely Carolina getting to 7-3 because Carolina equals 73. Plus, yesterday had 21 date numerology. 73 is the 21st prime number. So Hurricanes won. They improved to 7-3. The Blues and the Bruins. This was last year's Stanley Cup. I measured from the date of the closing game. Saw that it was 136 days later, which is the 16th triangular number. And the Bruins were going for their 16th points. Boston Bruins equals 53, the 16th prime. The Blues fell to 5-3 in this game. Notice what's bolded. The 16th points about how the Blues coach equals 71 and the Bruins can become 7-1, and how the Blues can fall to 5-3. Boston Bruins 53. Again, that was synced up with Super Bowl 53 last year. Correct. The Maple Leafs and the Canadiens. I didn't bold anything in this game because there was nothing that was really strong. My closing remarks were that if the Canadiens win next two games, they would be 6-4, facing the Golden Knights 64. They did go on to win this game, the Canadiens. They beat the Maple Leafs. And here, I guess I'll put up the scores as we go through it so that you don't have to take my word for it. We'll go back over yesterday's games. Hurricanes improved to 7-3. Bruins beat the Blues. Remember, the NHL ESPN page has music. Canadiens did beat the Maple Leafs. Next game, Predators and Lightning. What did we have here? Tampa Bay, major favorite. But what I saw was the Predators could get their 15th points. Tampa Bay 47, the 15th prime. Most hockey rigging is points driven. And Predators beat the Lightning in overtime. So, the trolls are always saying I only pick favorites. The same trolls just wrote a Rationale wiki page, which is all BS. It says I only pick favorites. I mean, how false is that? Every day we pick underdogs. So, okay. So, the next game, Blue Jackets at Flyers. What was pointed out? Columbus can pick up the 12th regulation loss in the series, and the Flyers can improve to 5 because Columbus Blue Jackets is 53. This was the 37th game between these teams. 37 is the 12th prime, so it made sense for Columbus to pick up the 12th loss. That's how we called the Triple Crown the year of American Pharoah before a single horse race was run. And we also talked about how the Blue Jackets, their 14th points to pick up is in a future game would make more sense. So, Flyers, yesterday, they won 7-4. And Columbus equals 47. So does Ohio. You can read that score 4-7. The Penguins and the Stars game. Now, normally I would have really liked the Penguins here because Stars equals 14, and normally it's about picking up points. But I noted that the day before, a team missed the 14th points against the Stars. So I told people to watch this game and wait and see in case there's some pattern this year of teams not picking up the 14th points against the Stars. But the Penguins did win this game, not surprisingly. Stars 14. Again, it's points driven. The Kings and Wild game, this was tricky because there was a chance both teams could become 4-7 and Minnesota's 47. The 38 does play harder in Minnesota. The Kings lost this game. Both teams did become 4-7, both Minnesota numbers, but that game was a little bit tricky. The Kings fell to 2-4 away in this game. Kings and Wild both equals 24. The Ducks, underdogs on the road at the Avalanche. I saw that the Ducks could get their 14th points against Colorado. Colorado 43, the 14th prime. That's why that is what is bolded. So, and Flames were the favorites against the Jets yesterday in the Heritage Classic. Classic was the key word. Classic equals 66. Notice if Jets won and Flames lost, both teams would be 6-6. Jets won. So I don't pick based on underdogs or favorites. I pick solely based on how the numbers align. And, you know, really great day in hockey. And we've had a lot of really great days in hockey this year. So, and the day before this, we were 3-0 in hockey, you know. Now, NBA yesterday, there weren't many games that I bold. I say look for bold and notes. I did think the Bucks would beat the Heat. I thought the Bucks would become 2-0 versus the Heat, and the Heat would fall to 1-1 versus the Bucks. Heat equals 20, Bucks equals 11. Well, instead, the Bucks became 1-1, and Heat became 2-0. Normally, the teams pick up the numbers against each other. Not always, but Bucks squandered a big lead at the end. Again, NBA's become really crazy NBA's always been a game of runs and streaks, but it's just become crazy. I mean, how many teams are giving up near 20-point leads in the fourth quarter? It's become the trend. Just like how baseball, nobody can close out the game in the ninth inning. 76ers and Pistons. The other thing I said yesterday was follow the 101s. If you're new here, something I always talk about is 101 and 26 in Philadelphia. Special numbers to that city, numbers that usually lead to wins. 76ers did beat the Pistons yesterday. Here, hold on. Let me pull up the NBA scores from yesterday. Okay. Heat outscored the Bucks by 11 in the fourth quarter to send it to overtime. Okay, 76ers win 117-111. There wasn't much bold in my NBA notes yesterday because there wasn't a lot that stood out. I didn't really see any clear riddles. The Celtics game, the Knicks coach was on 118 losses. He ended up picking up his 119th, but that's just a number that always happens with the Celtics. Celtics equals 118, Patriots 118. There's something about New England and 118. So anyway, I wasn't sure about that game. That's why there's no bold there. I'll bold it if I like it. And again, if you go through the notes, I'm going to put all the information out there for people to study and look. That's why I do this. It's not just all about picks. It's about learning and studying and improving. Now, so far this year until yesterday, it had been a perfect pattern of teams picking up a number that corresponded with the day of the month in terms of the prime number relationship. You know, the day before, there were 2 games like that. I said that'd make a good parlay. Both of them came through. I thought the Pacers yesterday would get their 101st win against the Cavs because it was the 26th of the month. 101's the 26th prime. And what's interesting is I've documented so far this year in the NHL season that the 101 riddles aren't hitting. And now that was the first one I've seen in NBA. I'm not counting Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a different story with 101 and 26. But I'm just wondering what might be up with that, with the 101 and 26 not coming through. But Pacers did not get the 101st win yesterday. They lost 99-110. Cavs got it for the home opener. And let me see. I know I had one other game wrong in the NBA that I bolded. So here, I saw that this was going to be the 221st game. Suns led 130-90 over the Clippers. I saw that if Phoenix lost, they'd get their 91st loss. 91's the 13th triangular. 130's like 13 with a 0 at the end. Big LA number. So I thought there'd be a nice LA tribute there. You know, Kawhi taking the Clippers to places they haven't been before. So I was leaning on that coming through. I also thought the Suns would fall to 1-2 versus Los Angeles. Los Angeles 37, the 12th prime. Either team could have become 1-1 in the away or home record. Yesterday left 66 days left in the year, the 11th triangular. But I thought it would be a nice tribute to Doc Rivers, too, for the Clippers to start 3-0. Doc Rivers is 1-1-3, so is the National Basketball Association. Michael Jordan's 1-1-3, Kobe Bryant's 1-1-3. Big number with the NBA. 1-1-3 is the 30th prime. So I thought that's the way it was going to go. And yeah, in the games, the 3 bold riddles that I really liked yesterday, none of them come through. But imagine you took all the hockey picks with the bold in the NBA. You'd be way up. Not a bad day. And then how did we do in college football? Let's go through it, because I know we had a great day in college football. Ohio State. I've been saying all year, I expect Ohio State to be one of the very top teams. I've been saying it since before the season began. It all began with the death of Beanie Wells' brother, synced up with the first game of Ohio State, looked like a ritual sacrifice for their season. You know, that usually means a team's probably going to one of the top 4 positions. So Ohio State can't lose many games, if any. Maybe one, and that's what I've been saying all year. Ohio State won this game, not surprised. Their coach became 11-0. Now, I did bold one thing here that could have gone against Ohio State. But again, I expect people to know that I've been a broken record about Ohio State. Wisconsin's coach's next win was 68. And Ohio State Buckeyes does equal 68. A lot of times when a coach has that riddle, they will pick it up. So I did bold it. There was a chance at an upset, but I know that the people who are here every day, who do follow the live stream, who follow the notes, they know what I think about Ohio State. So, it's hard to go against them. Oklahoma and Kansas State. What did I have in these notes? Again, last week the upset was with the record on the specific field. I saw that Oklahoma could get their 11th loss against Kansas State on the day leaving 66 days left in the year. 66, the 11th triangular number. 11 men on the football field. The first Super Bowl season in 66. NFL equals 66. This is a special pairing. So Oklahoma, I should have wrote... Yeah, no, that's correct. Oklahoma could get their 11th loss. That is what happened. And there's been major upsets in recent weeks. So, Iowa, Northwestern, both teams equal 62. Iowa on their way to 62. Hold on, let me get up the college football scores so we can post them up here as we go through them. We had SMU winning at the beginning of the week to get to 8-0, streaks of 8. Mustangs equals 102. It's their 102nd season. So the games aren't in order here. But Kansas State did upset Oklahoma. Well, at least they're not in the order they originally were in. Appalachian State, we've been talking about Eli Drinkwitz, the new coach whose name equals 70, getting to 7-0. Sure enough, he did. Auburn and LSU, Battle of the Tigers. We saw that right here, LSU coach could get his 33rd win with LSU in the Battle of the Tigers and stay on 9 losses in Week 9. I know at the top of my notes, it says this is Week 9. Follow the 9s this week. So, LSU did beat Auburn. Close game. 23-20. Battle of ranked heavyweights. Penn State, Michigan State, another tight game. Penn State won 8 in a row. Again, streaks of 8 have been great this year in football. Penn State became 9-3 versus Michigan State when ranked. So there's another 9. That's why it's bolded. The Michigan State coach stayed on 129 wins against Penn State 129. The Penn State coach stayed on 21 losses on the 21 date numerology. So the notes tell you Penn State has the better riddle. Penn State. Where are they? I know they won the game 28-7. Michigan, when we get to it, we have Michigan as the winner. Another close game. Texas TCU. Now, I did lay out a possible narrative here for TCU, but I was on the wrong side of this game. The Texas coach could have got his 45th win and his 23rd win with Texas. Those numbers both connect to 9. 45 is the 9th triangular, 23rd is the 9th prime. I thought ultimately that was going to take it. But notice, I do put other information out here so people can use their own mind. The TCU coach stayed on 66 losses on the day leaving 66 days left in the year. Maryland and Minnesota, another streak of 8. Again, the streaks of 8 have been great. Minnesota improved to 2-3 versus Maryland, like 23 the 9th prime in Week 9. That's what's bolded. Oklahoma State and Iowa State. I was wrong about this game. I thought the Iowa State coach, who was in his 96th game, let me find this score here real quick. Where's it at? Oklahoma won 34-27. What I saw in this game was it was the Iowa State coach's 96th game. Cyclones equals 96. And he was going for his 25th win with Iowa State. Iowa State Cyclones equals 97, the 25th prime. And now I feel kind of dumb about this because I'm like, well, maybe it makes more sense for him to get that 25th win in his 97th game. So remember that for next week because that should be a winner. Getting his 25th win with Iowa State in his 97th game as a coach because he's coached other teams too. So Yeah, sometimes I guess I got to think a little bit. Alabama, Arkansas, I mean, that was a no-brainer. Alabama, by the way, got their 23rd win versus Arkansas all time, 23 the ninth prime. Even in the games that are no-brainers, you can still see the rituals. Boston College, Clemson. Clemson stayed on 9 losses versus Boston College in week 9. Got their 8th straight win. Notre Dame, Michigan, for the same reason we had the Wolverines falling to 5-2. I had Notre Dame falling to 5-2. Wolverines equals 52. And notice the Michigan coach got his 73rd win, becoming 73-37. Fighting Irish equals 73. And by the way, in the Catholic Bible, there's 73 books. Remember when Harbaugh visited the Pope by the numbers, and then the next day his tight end Jake Butt fell to Denver Broncos by the numbers, by the Catholic numbers. Became the 145th pick. Catholic equals 145. So the 52 is bolded. Harbaugh getting his 73rd win over the Fighting Irish is bolded. And, another close game, another correct call. That game was even. So, and it was just like this last week, too. I mean, this knowledge is paramount. It's not going to get you every single game correct, but it's going to put you on the right side of the majority of games. No doubt about it. That's why the trolls are here every day writing bullshit, only focusing on the negative. I mean, look at the trolls yesterday. Friday, we went 8-4. Yesterday, we dominated. What were the trolls talking about? The trolls were talking about Thursday, the one low point of the week where we broke even, 6-6. Not a great day. The day before that was awesome. We were 7-1, 6-6 on Thursday, 8-4 on Friday, dominated yesterday, as we're going over right now. And what are the trolls talking about all day? Thursday, like a bunch of fucking losers. Because that's what they are. The Arizona State and UCLA game was very dicey. UCLA did win this game. They got their 21st win in the series on the 21 date numerology. The ASU coach did pick up his 9th loss. I did bold the week 9. ASU coach can pick up the 9th loss. But there were some things there that you had to look at. But what was bolded? Week 9. ASU coach gets the 9th loss. What happened in that game? I know UCLA won. UCLA. And ASU was the favorite, just barely. Cal and Utah was an easy one. Cal fell to 6-6 versus Utah on the day, leaving 66 days left in the year. Cal became 1-4 at Utah. Utah 14. So, and then Washington State at Oregon. Oregon got their 23rd win versus Washington State. This is at home. This is their home record. They got their 23rd home win over Washington State in week 9. 23, the 9th prime number. So, not that game was a surprise. I mean, Oregon was a big favorite in that game. Very close game, though. Very close game. Oregon was a 14-point favorite. Close game. So, anyway, I mean, very good day overall. NBA was the low point. But, I mean, if you took all the picks yesterday, you would have piled up a ton of cash. So, again, if you're new here, when I put out notes, if you're trying to read the notes without watching the live streams, look for what's bolded. But be sure to read all the notes and use your own mind. But I'm going to bold always what I think is the strongest riddle. So, we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Till next time.